guys, my name is Linda Dolke. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin'Up in Australia, and today we're making this cool little card. I've used the Mosaic Mood Speciality DSP, and it's actually really simple and it won't take us all that long, so stick around and I'll show you how I did it. Hi guys, my card today is very simple. It's this little one, but I was asked whether I would do a video on how to do it, and I'm almost embarrassed, it's so easy, but I hope that you'll enjoy it anyway. So it should be a pretty quick one today. I'm starting with a piece of Whisper White thick. So I've just cut my A4 sheet in half, and if you have letter, if you're in the US, you'll also just cut your sheet in half and fold that in half again to make your card base. And then I just normally use a bone folder just to crease the edge and make it nice and flat. Pop that aside. Then I'm working on a piece of petal pink cardstock. Now interestingly, the pink that's in this paper is actually not petal pink, it's actually blushing bright, but I wanted to use the ribbon and it's a close enough match. The ribbon is petal pink, so that's why I've gone with petal pink for my cardstock. And I'm going to be using this beautiful matching paper. Now you can see I've chopped mine up into lots of little pieces. This is the most beautiful paper. It's embossed. I hope you can see the shiny of the embossing on one side, and then the other side just has some really pretty simple little designs. So the hummingbirds look like they're jumping off the page. They're embossed as well. We have some different mosaic designs on each side. And I'm only showing you part of the pack here because, like I said, I've already opened up mine already and chopped it up and made lots of different cards with it. So this one's pretty. There we go, more hummingbirds. One of my favourite, in fact probably my favourite piece in the pack is this piece, which you can see I've also cut up, and it's got roses on one side that have got that embossed mosaic design, and on the other side we've just got a simple leaf pattern in yellow. It's so saffron, the lighter yellow that we have, and a little bit of crushed curry in there as well to give it a bit of depth. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be cutting out one of these flowers, and I'm going to do that by hand with my scissors, my paper snips, which are great for fussy cutting. Now I won't make you sit here and watch while I do that, so I'm going to speed up the camera a little bit so that you can watch me do it quickly, and it won't be quite so time consuming and won't be so boring for anyone to watch. Here we go. Okay, so you can see now I've got myself my rose, and I've also cut 2 leaves from the paper while I was there as well. Okay, they don't have to be full leaves because, as you can see, they're poking out from behind this foil circle here, so you don't know what's going on at this end of the leaf. We just want them to poke out and be a little bit of a interest point. So now it's time to actually assemble. Really simple. I've got a piece of mint macaron paper, and I've measured this in centimetres. I've measured it to be 12.5 centimetres long by 7 centimetres wide. So this one is half a centimetre smaller, so it's 12 centimetres long by 6.5 wide. So if you were looking at that in inches, it's approximately just below 5 inches long for the mint macaron piece, and approximately 2 3/4, well, it's almost exactly 2 3/4 inches long. Okay, but you can make it any size around that you want to fit in with your letter size paper. And so then this is a tiny bit smaller, so it's about 1/4 inch smaller than the 5, and about 1/4 inch smaller than the 2 3/4, so it's 2.5. So there you go, it's 1/4 inch, which is about half a centimetre, which is what I've worked on in metric. Okay, so this is going to go straight on here. So I'm grabbing some snail, and I'm just going to quickly pop that behind my pattern paper piece. Pattern paper and snail get along really well. It's very easy to attach pattern paper with snail. Alright, you can see how pretty this paper is. just all by itself. You don't need to do anything. The paper does all the work for you. And then I've used a piece of champagne foil. You could use any colour you like, and I've just used our largest punch, which is the 2 1/4 inch punch. If you prefer to use framelits, you could do that, but I'm just using a 2 1/4 inch punch. I've got a few marks on mine actually from my die cutting machine. But I'm going to be covering it up, so I'm not too worried. So I'm just going to have, where will I have it? About there. And I'm going to use some dimensionals behind that. So probably about 3. And we're just going to pop them a little bit away from the edges so you can't see them. And it allows me then to put the flower anywhere I want. Okay, just like that. And I'm also going to put 3 dimensionals behind my circle. You can see how easy this is. It's super, super easy, but it's such an effective card because the paper is so beautiful. That really is what it's all about. If you've got a couple of tools to help you, good pair of scissors, maybe a punch, and some beautiful paper, you can just about do anything. So I'm actually going to add these little leaves in as well. I'm putting a little bit of snail behind those. And I'm going to put one just here. And another one. So they poke out from underneath the circle. And you can't even see the ends of them. See how easy that is? The other thing that looks magnificent on here is some of our beautiful petal pink organdy ribbons. So this is the reason that I went with the pink cardstock, the petal pink cardstock, because I wanted it to match the ribbon. Super easy, and you can just tie it, juggle it around a little bit until you're happy with the way your bow looks. I usually tie them straight on the roll, and then I just snip it off with a pair of scissors. Actually, I'll just use my snips, but snips are not the ideal thing actually for cutting ribbon. I have a pair of ribbon scissors that I keep specifically for ribbon, and I keep my snips normally just for paper, but they're handy, so I'm just going to use them. Alright, so it's going to end up on there. Actually, I'll need to cut that one a little bit shorter. I don't want too much tail hanging out on this card. That's better. And then we'll attach that with a glue dot. Now, the other thing is, while we've got this here, is I'm going to put my dimensionals, 4 of them. You can add more in the center if you are worried about it sagging in the middle, but I'm not actually worried about this one. It's got the double layer of paper, which gives it a bit of strength. And I'm going to center this so that I have the same amount of paper between the edge of the mint macaron piece and the edge of the pink piece. Same amount here, here, and here. That way it's centered at the top, but there's still room here for me to add my greeting. And the greeting I'm using is actually here, Always Thinking of You, and it's from the Beautiful Days stamp set, which is a great little stamp set. I'm just going to pop it on a block. The block is actually way too big, but hey, doesn't matter. I'm just going to use soft suede. There is actually soft suede in the colours. If ever you're not sure what to do when it comes to colours, what colours to add, if you're working with pattern paper, it actually makes it easy because you can just go with the colours that are in the pattern paper. So I'm just going to stamp that there, just like that. And the last thing I did before I attached this to the cardstock was I did sponge around the outside. Now this is something I do with most of my cards. I just think it adds a little bit of pizzazz and makes the card look finished. So get yourself either some sponge daubers or even just your regular sponges. We sell both. We have sponge daubers in a pack of 5, or you can buy sponges, like they're large circular sponges. They'll give you a bit of a softer edge, and those come in a pack of 3, but I usually chop them up. So I actually cut I'm very stingy, or shall we say, much nicer word than stingy is I'm frugal. I'm careful with those. So what I do is I chop my sponges up into 6 pieces, and that way I can use them for all different colours and they last a lot longer. Now you can use whatever glue you like to adhere. You can use you could use tape, you could use snail, you could use Tombow. Tombow's great for attaching to a card base, but just in the interest of time, I'm just going to go with good old snail. And we've got our piece back here. Now when it comes to attaching the bow, see how quick and easy this is? When this comes, we would use a glue dot behind that. And for anyone who doesn't know, let me just show you an easy way to use glue dots. What I like to do is I like to find the next dot of glue on the roll, okay, and I like to actually put my bow, the knot of the bow, right on that glue dot and give it a good firm push, okay. Take it off, and when I take it off, the glue dot comes too, and then it's ready and in position to use so that I can pop it straight on. See how easy that card is? So simple. Really easy to do, and I think it would be a great card for any occasion really. I've used the thinking of you sentiment, but you could use it for birthdays if you change the sentiment, or get well, or whatever it is you'd like to use it for. I hope you like my little card today, and I'll be back again with another project for you really soon. Thanks guys, bye.